Hello, hello, and welcome to another edition of Sheldon's Fun with Flags. No, just kidding. Uh, Welcome to another edition of boxing previews, shall we say? Anyway, anyway, I have been sick for the last 15 days, so excuse me if I have to sniff a lot. Hope it won't bother anybody. Yeah, let's start right from the beginning. Well, anyway, the first interesting fight that I'm going to talk about is between Gavin McDonald and Jorge Sanchez. And McDonald is, as many of you know, of course, the brother of Jamie. Gavin is the brother of Jamie McDonald, who is right now doing really good as a bantamweight world champion. And even though Gavin hasn't had that many fights, only 16 fights and 2 draws. And he's facing an opponent who has an unbeaten record of 15. That's the cheers. Of 15 and 0. So this fight, I think it will end as a. It will go to the scorecards, and I think McDonald is going to win because the other guy, even though he's undefeated, he's not really. I mean, well, he hasn't yet beaten anybody of note, while McDonald has he's beat guys like Wusi Malinga, who used to be the world title challenger as a bantamweight. I believe also super bantamweight, and he beat the previously unbeaten Alexander Yegorov to win the European title. And in his last fight, he beat Jeremy Parody, who we know as from before as the victim of Carl Frampton, who knocked him out with a body shot 2 years ago. So I don't know that much about these two fighters, but I think we're gonna see, being that one of them is a Mexican and the other one, Irish. So it's bound to be a good fight. I mean, a spirited action fight. I think, and anything can happen, of course, but my bet is on Gavin McDonald to win by unanimous decision. And then the next fight, even bigger, is between Ola Afolabi and Marco Huck. And Afolabi is now suddenly become the favorite since Hook lost in his last fight, his WBO title to Krzysztof Glowacki by a late knockout. But I think it was just a matter of inactivity that did Hook in, and that he will be back, and because he's a guy who is hard to keep away and keep down. He has an incredible fighting spirit and tenacity and everything. And Afolabi, he too is a real warrior, but In their first three fights, he hasn't shown that he has anything that Hook can't handle, Captain Marco. So it will be a good test for Hook, but I think he should pass it, but he will win by a unanimous. I think most likely unanimous decision. I was a little torn between picking a majority decision and a unanimous because I think I expect another very close fight. So anyway, there you have it. And since neither of the two has ever been able to stop the other, I don't think this time it will be any different because even though Afolabi has stopped Chakiev in his last fight, Chakiev has shown himself to be kind of overrated. So he's just a punching machine, but he can be hurt and stopped. And Wodavchik did it first, so anyway, that's it. And then we go to this. Well, it's best to go, I think, to the fight between Leo Santa Cruz and Kiko Martinez. It's for the WBA Super Bowl featherweight title. And Leo Santa Cruz, he is in the position where he hasn't had that many big fights yet, despite showing promise and being touted as the new great Mexican warrior, a new great Mexican fighter, and he's only beaten like Mares, and that was in his last fight, and a couple of good, good, decent guys, and that's it. He hasn't yet really delivered. So I think, yeah, he's beaten Mijares, but he was already over the hill. Anyway, I hope this fight will be a springboard to something bigger and greater for him, because I have no doubt that he will win, but whether he will manage to stop Martinez, I'm not. I think he will. I think he should be able to do that because he was stopped in only 2 rounds in the fight against Quick. So I think Santa Cruz will take about, because he can be sometimes slow, to get the, the guns out, the cannons. So I have put a TKO 9 victory for him. So he should be able to do it within that. Yeah. And then we have the fight between. There's a good lightweight fight between Felix Verdejo, William Silva, and Verdejo is another, Puerto Rican star in the making. He's currently 19 and old, and well, yeah, he can punch, but he still also hasn't really fought anyone that really is worth something. So, and this guy William Silva, he's fighting he's a Brazilian with an undefeated record. But in Brazil, when you're Brazilian and undefeated, that doesn't mean that much because the competition there is not that good. So there are not that many high class or elite level boxers. So I think Verdejo will win. for sure. And also by a stoppage, I think a fifth round stoppage. That was my pick. Yeah. And then we go to the only heavyweight star fight between Gerald Washington and Oscar Rivas. And both these guys are new to me. Gerald Washington, he uh, drew against Amir Mansour, and that was quite impressive. But he is also much taller. He's 6'6", and Mansour is only 6'1". So, and he scored some early knockouts, but it's what most it's against some journeymen like Mike Shepard and Travis Walker and Skip Scott. All these guys who are just not that good. While Oscar Rivas is a Colombian, and of course Colombians can punch, as we all know, and he has some decent also early round knockouts, but he hasn't yet fought anybody really good. So I think Rivas has a puncher's chance, of course, to win, and but being a lot shorter, he's like 5.5 inches shorter, and has 5.5 inches shorter reach also. So it will be a difficult fight for him to win, and that's why I think Washington will scrape together win a victory on points. I may be wrong, of course, but I hope he surprises me and knocks the guy out. So, but because we need more good heavyweight contenders, that's for sure. And now, one of the two biggest fights was between Terence Crawford and Henry Hank Lundy. It's for Crawford's super WBO super lightweight title, or light welterweight as I like to call it. And Crawford is coming off a really quite impressive victory over Gary Jean, and he's 27-0, and this is his second defense, and it's in Madison Square Garden, as opposed to it's not in Omaha where he often fights. And Lundy is 26-5-1, so I don't think he can threaten Crawford, but I think the fight will go the distance very likely, because Lundy has only been stopped once in the 11th round by John Molina, who is a harder puncher than Crawford. So Crawford, he can hit, but he's not this devastating knockout artist. He's more like the timing and precision puncher rather than a power puncher. So and that's a reason to respect him for and like him. So, and he will win for sure. I think he will win pretty convincingly too. And then the last fight between the big British showdown, the super bantamweight divisions between Carl Frampton and Scott Quigg. Well, this fight, yeah, has all the makings of a classic in it, but will it be? I don't know. Anyway, I think Frampton, even though he's shorter, and but he he's faster than Quick and just a better boxer, better footwork, everything, just better fundamentals. So I think he will dominate anyway. Quick may have a puncher's chance, and everything, and I think Frampton is just too good for him. Unless he has in meantime deteriorated, I don't think so. One hard. That last fight, it's just too much to judge him so harshly in just one fight. So yeah. So that's it. I'm out of time now. So I hope you kind of enjoyed this anyway. So bye.